Hello. If you notice, I have my tree over here. After Christmas, after the holidays, it's always just a pain to take down all the Christmas decorations and the trees. So, just like everybody else, I'm just gonna keep my tree decorations up. Since most of the time I think and act like a 12-year-old, let's do 12 things that I like today. These are just some random things that I like either to eat, to watch. Some might be strange, you might have never heard of it before, but hey, I like it. Okay, number one, if you have seen the other videos before this one, you probably know by now that I am in love with Thai food. Thai food is love. I can eat Thai food all day, every day, any day. If there's nothing else left in this world to eat, and all I have to eat is Thai food, that will be heaven for me. Had Thai, fried rice. I love fried rice. If I just want to keep it simple, it'll just be a Thai omelet, or really it's just scrambled eggs, and you fry it like a pancake and eat it with white steamed rice. Oh my god. All right, number two is a TV show called Law & Order SVU, Special Victims Unit. If there's any other fans of SVU out there, hi, you're not alone. In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as a Special Victims Unit. These are their stories. Gavel. If you consider yourself a fan, you should be able to recite that whole intro. Number three. So this is something that some of you might never have heard of before, but so there's this fruit called tamarind, and they make candies out of it. Usually you find it at an Asian grocery store, and that's where I always find it anyway. But they look really strange. If I were to describe it, it looks like goat poop. The little pellets of these, yeah. But it tastes so good. It's a taste of salty and sweet and sour all at the same time. So it's just an explosion of flavors in your mouth when you take a bite of it. It's good. However, TMI though, every time I eat these things, and I don't know what it is about it, maybe it's because of all the fibers in it, because it's really, what's the word? Is it fibrous? Fibery? I don't know, but it's got a lot of like veins and fibers in it, and every time I eat it, it just makes me go, number two, like, bad. Alright, number four is fish. I love fish. Grilled salmon is my all-time favorite. I can eat grilled salmon just like Thai food. I can eat grilled salmon any day, every day, all day. If that's the only thing left in the world to eat, I will gladly eat grilled salmon. Salmon, love. Number five, I love dad jokes. A lot of my family members are always like, "Oh, I hate you," whenever I would send something in the family group chat. But man, they're like the funniest things ever, the stupidest things, the most simple things, but they're the funniest. You gotta admit, I mean, did you know that Cardi B has a younger sister, and she's all into fitness and exercise and everything? Yeah, her name's Cardio. All right, number six. I love Broadway. I love musicals. The very first show that I saw and I instantly fell in love with it was a show called Rent, if you're familiar with it. And they came into town many years ago, and I saw the show. I kid you not, I ended up watching the show 4 times within that same week that they were here. Shout out to my friends who gave us free tickets. When they sang the first line, I was instantly hooked, you know. When I saw the stage, the props, and then everything, the artistry, the creativity that goes into putting on a show like that. To me, it's such a creative presentation of so many art forms and disciplines. You know, you have stage and lighting design, set and lighting, props, acting, singing, choreography, costumes. What else? There's just a lot of creativity into the. I can't even talk about it because, you know, every time I watch it, I'm just mesmerized by the spectacle in front of me, because you know you try to tell a story using limited resources, because, you know, on stage you can't really do a full set. Say for example, you're under the ocean. You know, the setting is under the ocean, and you know your character lives in a pineapple house. You can't really do that, you know. So they create it, or they stage it in such a way that you only see parts of it, and then the rest, your mind, your brain fills it in. So your own imagination is actually being utilized as well. So that's the part that I love. And add to that the music, the live music, the orchestra. Beautiful. It's just amazing. Number 7. This is another weird one, but something that I really like. But it's a condiment called fish sauce. If you're familiar with it, they use this a lot in Asian cooking, and since I love Thai food, they use it a lot in Thai food. So pretty much all Thai dishes use fish sauce in it. But my favorite is this one called Red Boat. And as you can see, I'm down to my few last drops. Imagine it as like being soy sauce, but so much more smelly. I really don't like the smell of it, but I love the taste of it. Love it. Number 8. Another TV show that I like is The Golden Girls. Yeah, this is one of my all-time favorite TV shows, man. It's got like the best script writers. They tackled so many different stories. Keep in mind, this was what was it, like late 80s, early 90s, I think. And yeah, even back then, they were on the show, they talked about socially relevant things. Like they talked about racism, they talked about homosexuality, they talked about body positivity. What else? Those are the ones that I could just remember now. One of the writers of the show in its later years, I think that same guy, ended up creating Desperate Housewives. Dorothy's Bornett, Rose Nyland, Blanche Devereaux, and Sophia Petrillo. Thank you for being a friend. Number 9. May not seem like it, but I like to play video games. Yeah, but I'm not like the competitive type. I only play for myself, and I mostly always just play scary video games, because I love to scare myself. You turn off all the lights and you put on Resident Evil or Silent Hill or The Evil Within or The Last of Us. Game on, baby. I love it. I like it when it makes me, you know, jump in my seat. I love it. Okay, number 10 is another movie that I love. It's called The Kite Runner. If you've heard of this movie, man, this one was just an emotional roller coaster. It's actually a movie based on a book originally, and it was written by a guy named Khaled Hosseini, and hopefully I'm saying that name right. It's a really cool story about friendship in times of war. It was set in Afghanistan during the Taliban days. Every time I watch it, I cry. I cry because the very last line that they use in the film pretty much sums up everything that you've just seen for the last 2 hours. That one line just really, real tug at your heart. And every time he says it, and I've seen this movie many times, and every time they say that line, I love it. He actually wrote another book called 1,000 Splendid Suns, and I actually saw a play version of it in San Francisco, which was actually really good. So if ever that comes into town, please check it out. Number 11, related to Thai food, one of the things I like or love is Thailand, the country. I was given a really cool opportunity to work and live in Thailand for a little bit in 2012. I've always been very vocal about wanting to try living abroad, living overseas, being in a country where you don't know the language. You'll have totally different culture. And I was able to do that in Bangkok when I worked there. And man, it was a great experience. You know, I had such a great time. I got to work with some of the best, some of the kindest, some of the most gracious people I've ever met. Didn't speak a lot of English, but you know, it was enough to get by to have a conversation for us to understand each other. All my Thai coworkers, if ever you guys get to see this and watch this, I miss you all. Number 12, and anybody who knows me very well knows that this list will not be complete without desserts. Man, I love desserts. Ice cream, cakes, pastries, cheesecake, cupcakes, breads, what else? But every time I would go to say like a party or a buffet, you know, I always head towards the dessert station first to try to get a little nibble of like a small piece of cake before I dive into food. Yeah, I love desserts. Maybe that's why I'm really sweet. That's 12 things about me, 12 things that I like. So in December, when you're thinking of giving me a Christmas present, just go back, just rewatch this video, and you'll have 12 things to choose from on what to give me for Christmas.